I'm a recruiter and I review your resumes. The resume we have up first is a front-end developer. So I do more than tech, but right now the tech market is so most of the resumes sent to me are tech. But for a front-end developer, what a recruiter and hiring manager would be looking for is JavaScript, React, Angular, HTML, CSS, and PHP, and Next.js. Yes, I'm aware PHP is not a front-end language, but that's what the job descriptions wanted. That's what the job descriptions are going to get. SQL, Scrum, Agile, RESTful APIs, SEO, Git, CI/CD, Node.js, 0 to 1, communicate with stakeholders' needs into product. And extra language bonus is extra language cloud, UI UX, SASS, not SAAS, TypeScript, WordPress, mobile, and GraphQL. So recruiters need to find 75% of these in qualification format, not keyword format. Keyword is one of these things. It's basically a word that or skill that the hiring team needs. Can be any of these. But recruiters are not hunting for these. They are hunting for qualifications. And a qualification is one of these, plus how you used it, plus the reason and result of you using it, plus where you used it. So if you do not tell me all four of those things, the fourth being the word itself, it does not count. So we do not know this person's ratio, which is how many applications it takes to get an interview. That is how you know if your resume is good or garbage. Anything above 50 applications to one interview is bad. Anything above 50 to 1 applications is good. So basically, I said that my brain is not working today. If people follow my advice, for example, I get them 1 interview per 7 applications. That is fantastic. That is what happens when you follow my advice. You get 1 in 7 applications. I get people jobs multiple times per week. But if there are anything above 50 applications to 1 interview, it is bad. So recruiters only have 20 seconds on the clock. That is all the time we have. Let's see if this person has a good resume or a bad resume. And go. Degree. Good. Okay. JavaScript, HTML, CSS, React. Perfect. Okay. Use Tailwind, CSS. I don't care about Tailwind. TypeScript and Next.js. Solid and Agile for server-side rendering. This is hot dogs, which I'll explain in a minute. Schedule week 1 with manager. Receive feedback. Technical decision aligned with goals. Good. Work with the team to build REST SQL data with Java Spring Boot. This might be a pass. I think this is a pass. This is a good resume. This does pass. There are ways you can make it better, but I think it does pass. So let me read what they wrote. Also, I am a US-based recruiter. I have gotten people jobs in the UK before, and in the EU, and in Africa, and in Canada, and in Mexico, and I think Taiwan or Singapore. I don't remember which one. I think it was Singapore as well. So I get people jobs all over the world, but sometimes my advice is not a one-to-one translation outside the US. So, hey Lee, that is my name. Thanks for reviewing my resume. I am in the UK and currently on a work visa. Oh, that's going to tank your chances. I will need sponsorship after 6 months. This is my second draft and I haven't used it yet. My old resume's ratio was 150 to 1. Never got an interview even after 1,000 applications. Ugh. I have used your advice and hopefully I've done it right this time. Yeah, you mostly did. This is mostly correct. There's a couple of things that I want to fix. Also, this person is using my formatting, which is good. This is how you want to use it. This is how you do it. The link is in the description below. It's a little, I think there's an extra space here I think you have. This should be a little bit higher up, but that's a minor issue. The other thing I have here is that's good. So when we go down to the actual bullet points, these are mostly fantastic. So let me remove what I found, right? JavaScript, good, perfect. HTML, good. CSS, great. React, you said React.js. They may only want React. They may not know the difference. If there really isn't one. Which to build components for an application, which uses keywords to help users improve learning. Fine, good. Then we have Tailwind CSS. You don't need to say Tailwind unless this is a UK specific thing. Most people are looking for CSS, not that. And since you already mentioned CSS in the sentence above, you do not need this. Then we put use next TypeScript, which is a bonus, and Next.js, which is good. That is something we want. In an Agile environment, that is not on my list, but that should be. People like seeing Agile. To performance optimization and SEO, which is good. Good. Schedule week 1 with managers to receive feedback. Clever component. That is communicate with stakeholders and needs into products. Perfect. Although this should be lower on the list. This, while an important bullet point, should probably be towards the bottom, mainly because I still don't see Angular, PHP, SQL. Scrum is on the list, Lee. SQL, RESTful APIs, Git, CI/CD, or Node.js. They are probably on the bottom, but again, we only have 20 seconds, so we want to make sure that those things are up at top. Then we have here, which is good. So again, there's the RESTful APIs, perfect. Or REST APIs. Again, you may want one or the other depending on the area. There we have SQL, which is good, and Java, Spring, or Java and Spring Boot. But then do I see, and then Git should be higher up. Yeah, these should be switched. Git is good, CI/CD is good, AWS is perfect. And I did not see Node.js. So yeah, you meet most of the requirements. Your problem is the ordering of these is slightly off. And again, I'm being very nitpicky here. This is a good resume that would normally pass. The problem is they're on a visa, and visa people have to struggle way harder than non-visa people. Everybody says visa candidates are taking your jobs, and they're wrong. Visa candidates are getting laid off and unable to find jobs at a higher rate than anybody else. What's really taking people's jobs is outsourcing. Outsourcing is brutalizing the market, not AI. So I would like Angular. I think it, all the way down there. I would like Angular. Do I see Angular? No, I don't. I would like 0 to 1. I don't really see that you started from the beginning and you finished it. And I don't see PHP, although that may be a US-based one, not in the UK. And again, I don't see Node. But otherwise, this is good. You just need to tighten up some of these bullet points. Because remember, like, I don't think you need 6 bullet points for this. This was an intern. This was a full stack role that you've done for less than a year. You don't really need 5 to 6 bullet points. You could probably do this in 3 to 4. Also, you should put this, since this is till current, I would either end this at July or alternatively just say part-time. So you put this into part-time, because otherwise they think this is not full-time. So overall, this is a good resume. There were a couple of flaws in it, but overall, pretty good. Definitely passes. So that's all I can do for this resume, but I want to thank you all for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. We're going to do another 4 resumes after this, so thank you all for sharing it with people. I really appreciate it, and if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlesshedhunter. That is where I get these keywords. That is where this person is, and I'm going to help them out a little bit after this video. And I wanted to thank all of my members. They get access to videos a little bit early. You can join in the description below. Thank you very much for supporting me. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me as I'm a small creator. Thank you very much, and let's go to the next resume. This is a resume that has already failed. So this person just stated software engineer or backend engineer. The problem is you cannot do that. If you're going to be a backend engineer, you need to pick Java or Python or C#. Those are the ones that you can pick. Are there other languages? Yes. Are those other languages going to get you a job in the current market? Probably not. So this person has already failed because you cannot have a resume that is good for multiple roles. I see Java out of the corner of my eye, so I'm going to anticipate that maybe this is actually a Java developer, so I'm going to view this through a Java developer's lens. If this is not correct and they're not actually a Java developer, that is on the person that submitted. You need to be specific. Be specific. If you do not pick a stack, you will have failed. That is unfortunately the case. So everything needs to be stack-based, and you need to tell me what stack. Otherwise, I cannot rightfully grade it. And are there language-agnostic roles? Obviously, but they're very rare, and winning the lottery is not a viable career strategy. So 20 seconds on the clock for this Java developer. Maybe they're actually Java. That's fine. And let's see if I can find what I need. So Java, Spring, Spring Boot, Maven, SDLC, SQL, RESTful API, REST API, microservices, CI/CD, object-oriented programming, Git, Linux, Unix, Agile, Scrum, Cloud, Architecting or Systems, Hibernate, Docker, Kubernetes, Kafka, and rare but nice to have is full stack, DevOps, and RabbitMQ. Also, the full stack for a Java developer is different than a full stack for a full stack developer. So what is this person's ratio? We do not know. 20 seconds on the clock. And go. All right, nothing here matters. This doesn't matter. Built RESTful. Okay, good. Don't care, don't care, don't care. Except for Kafka. Kafka was there. I just missed it. Built a stately REST, a URL. Don't care, don't care. Don't care, don't care, don't care. Don't care, don't care, don't care. Nothing's related. Okay, you sent me a blank resume. So, you did not tell me what you wrote. But yeah, this is a terrible resume. At least in the US. Again, I think I have gotten people jobs in India before, but again, like I am primarily US based recruiter, so I have to view it through a US based lens. But this is a garbage resume. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that like this is bad. So everything I highlighted, with the exception of Kafka down here, because that was a mistake, right? Kafka was fine, is completely irrelevant, and I need you to change it because you sent me a blank page. Like, why do this summary does not matter, delete it, right? Your formatting is off, delete these lines and make it easier to read. Right, boom, already a little easier to read. Then delete this. This is not what matters. You need to show me in the bullet points, but you don't. You are a Java developer, and I don't see a single bit of Java in any of your bullet points. The only thing that is relatively good is RESTful APIs, except for the fact that you put transaction APIs, so they may not even think it's the same. But you have essentially submitted to me a blank piece of paper, and this is why you are struggling. Again, these things in the technical skills section need to be in the bullet points or they do not count. You cannot do this. This does not count. Like, it's really hard for me to review this because there's nothing in this resume I can use to move you forward. Did I already go over the hot dogs and hamburger metaphors for this? I don't remember if I did. I don't think I did. So, I want you to imagine that you're hungry, right? You're like, I want a hamburger. So you go to your local hamburger store and you're like, hey, hamburger store, I would like a cheeseburger with pickles and onions. And they say, okay, cheeseburger and pickles and onions. And they say, yep. You say, yep. And they say, do you want ketchup with that? You say, no. Cheeseburger with pickles and onions. And they say, okay. So they go back, they make it, and they bring you a hot dog with cheese and pickles and onions. And you would look at them like they were absolutely insane. And you'd be like, why? Why did you give this to me? This is not what I wanted. And you say, yes, it is. They say, yeah, this is what you wanted. You wanted a hot dog. A hot dog, just like a hamburger, has meat. A hot dog, just like a hamburger, has buns. A hot dog, just like a hamburger, has ketchup. Can have cheese and pickles and onions. This is what you wanted. You wanted a hot dog, and you would look at them dead in the eye, and you would walk away because they are gaslighting you. That is what you did. Eliminated duplicate executions using component keys. Hot dog, completely irrelevant to what I'm looking for. RESTful APIs actually is a hamburger. Fault-tolerant process work. Hot dog. Implemented Kafka. It's a bonus point that counts, but nothing else. Achieved 190 latency. No one cares. That is a hot dog. Built a stateless REST URL. I don't care about REST URL. I care about RESTful APIs or REST APIs, so that doesn't count. Hot dog. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog. Here we go. Actual RESTful APIs. That is something I need. Design scalable RESTful APIs focused on performance. I don't care about the focus, but design RESTful APIs is what I'm looking for. That is a hamburger. Hot dog, 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 hot dog. So, this is why your resume sucks, is you give me absolutely nothing I need, and to a recruiter and hiring manager's finely trained eye, this is nothing. You gave me an entire resume that is blank. You only have, one good sentence, which is design scalable APIs, and that was it. You say you're a Java developer. I don't see Java. So I need you to fix your formatting. I need you to make it look like this. I need you to have bullet points that actually contain this stuff, unless you're not a Java developer, but I don't know because you did not tell me. You need to pick a stack because otherwise you're just going to keep getting rejected. Next resume. This is a network engineer. So we do not know their ratio. For a network engineer, what we need is routing, switching, firewalls, and 75% of this stuff. You don't need all of this, but I'd say the most important part from all of this list is what's in the first bullet point, and probably some of the certs. So VLANs, VPNs, WAN, LAN, Cisco, core network protocols, TCP, IP, DNS, DHCP, and those are probably going to be the most important ones, along with your certs, so CCNP, CCDP, and probably one or two that I'm actually missing. The rest of this stuff is also good, but as long as you have the first one in the first sentence, you probably have a much better chance of getting a job. So 20 seconds on the clock. I want to find 75% of these, and a minimum at least the first one. Someone in chat just said WAN LAN, thank you, ma'am, and I thought that was pretty funny. All right, so 20 seconds on the clock. We don't know their ratio, and go. Can't use anything here. Doesn't matter. University is good. I don't need this. This should be one line. Please support a user monitoring troubleshooting is word, but the rest of it I don't need. Maintain accurate logs. Don't care about. IT don't care about. Workstation don't care about. Yeah, there's nothing here that actually shows you used it. So let's see. I only started applying around December, and I've submitted 150 applications, got scheduled for 4 interviews. You know what? Props to you. This is not a very good resume. If that's the case, then the New Orleans network engineer market is fantastic, and I need to start recruiting it because I don't think this would work outside of any other market. Yeah, I just need more. I need a lot. So first off here, because again, how good your resume is directly determined by how good your market is, and it's also very probable that this is a very hot market, right? Maybe in New Orleans for a cybersecurity people, there are nobody there. Maybe that's a fantastic market. So here's what I do to increase the things, because you should be getting more interviews than 1 every 150. So if you got 150, 75, 25, you should be getting like a 1 in 10 or a 1 in 12. And I can probably get you that if you follow this method. So first off, these certs are critical. They need to be up here. They should be right in this bullet point, and this one should be one line, and you should fit the GPA right here. And then the second bullet point should be the CompTIA and the Cisco network cert. Both of those are critical. Both of those are needed. Then you can safely delete the relevant coursework. Relevant coursework is never relevant, and you can delete this. Nothing here is needed. It's also possible that your certs alone are getting you the job, which, again, that might be the case. So then we go down to here, and the problem is none of this is really related to what I'm looking for, except for troubleshooting can be considered one, but the rest of these just don't have anything in it. They don't have anything in it. They don't have anything in it. This one I like, kind of. Ticket resolution I do like. SharePoint I kind of do. Yeah, so I like, that's my problem, is the stuff you put all the way down in the skills section is what I need. The fact is, your resume is being carried by a phenomenal market, and after this, I record this, I'm going to mark down that I'm going to start recruiting for network engineers in New Orleans, because apparently that market is fantastic. But right now with this resume, if the market was average like everybody else's, or terrible like software engineers, this would not fly. But you don't need to be applying to 150 and getting 4 interviews. You could get a 1 in 7. So I need you to make the stuff that is actually in your skills section, which nobody can even see, in your bullet points, and show me how you did them. And you can do them as projects and move your education up top and fix your formatting. Once you do that, you should have a much, much better ratio, because you don't need to be doing this much work. Next resume. This is an AI intern. So what we need for an AI intern, unless they're a bachelor or unless they're a master's, which I see that they are. Okay. In computer networks, that's weird. Okay. What we need for an AI intern is degree, basic knowledge of AI. So like LLMs, OpenAI, Hugging Face, APIs, Git, language, LangChain, Python, TensorFlow, PyTorch. Can use another backend language? Yes, but Python is sort of the de facto. I also need to see the ability to work well with others, and that you can take direction and criticism. So this person said they have a 1 in 100, but they immediately say afterwards, so you might think that an interview ratio is high, but I don't apply on job applications. I send cold, spontaneous email checks for internships. Yeah, that's the most inefficient way you can do that. In another reason that I'm not applying in job boards, because I'm based in Tunisia and I apply for jobs in Europe, and because of that I get excluded. One company even sent me something like, if you don't need visa sponsorship, send us an email. And you don't need it? Okay, and for some reason I'm not addressing my address and phone number. Okay, so like, I'm not sure why you submitted to me, because it seems like you're not doing anything I would tell you, and I like, it's not like these methods can't work, right? It's just they're not efficient. And my goal is not to tell you that nothing else works, because, like, yeah, there's other stuff in my method that works. It'd be idiotic for me to say otherwise, but my method is the most efficient way to do it. So if you're sending spontaneous cold emails and you're getting a 1 in 100, cool. You don't need to do that. You should be getting like a 1 in 20. Like you're giving yourself more work. So all I can do is judge this on if this was an internship. And yeah, this is the best I can do, is just judge it as if it came across my thing as they applied to it. So your immigration stuff and all that is going to be different. And I don't know how I don't know what the rule is on Europe and Tunisia. That is outside my recruiting knowledge, right? I know U.S. recruitment in H-1Bs and all that stuff, but going from Tunisia to Europe is beyond my expertise. So I'm judging this as if it was a U.S.-based intern. Now, you are a master's. So a master's is a little bit different in that we need this stuff, but we also need a little bit more. So we need, instead of just a basic knowledge, we need like an intermediate knowledge. So we need about 50% of these, right, that I just added, instead of 75% or 25% for a bachelor's. So what we need is degree, AI, LLM, NLP, Python, TensorFlow, PyTorch, Cloud, NumPy, R, MATLAB, SD, LCC, ICD, DevOps, one of these, so just like something else related to AI, how you can explain stuff to non-technical people, the ability to work well with others, and take direction and criticism. That is what we need. So 20 seconds on the clock. Can I find it through that? I don't know, because that ratio does not count. Again, it only counts cold applying through emails. Otherwise, the ratio doesn't count. So 20 seconds on the clock and go. Okay, produce LLM of good. For LangFuse, no. For WebSocket, no. LLM, don't care. Enable the chatbot monitor CSCD using Fast API is solid. For collectional, don't care. ETL pipeline, don't really care. The LLM I do about nothing related. Fast API. Okay, this is a nightmare to read, bro. Like this is a nightmare to read. You're cooked because this is a nightmare all around. So please fix your formatting. This looks easy to read. This is a nightmare. Nothing in this section should be bolded. Not a single thing in this section should be bolded. You should not bold any of that, right? Because this makes it so much harder to read. Second off, I need you to add the actual stuff I need. So it's good that you put LLM, but a lot of the times when they're looking for AI engineers, they're really looking for a software engineer with a little bit of AI rather than an AI engineer with a little bit of software engineering. So I would like to see, instead of produced LLM evaluation with LangFuse, which is LangChain or LangGraph, I don't know if they'd really know what LangFuse is. I would rather you say produced a LLM framework using to do X or Y, but I still need more. Like, my problem with how to review this is A, this resume is giving me a headache, and B, you don't really tell me how you do it. You just start bragging about the stuff you've done and the random numbers, and like nobody cares. Like, I'm not saying this to be me, but no one cares that you processed 100 test cases via WebSocket. No one is looking for reducing evaluation costs. Like, I was looking at these, and no one's asking for that. No one's saying we need an engineer for an intern that designed an ETL pipeline, maybe they will for that one, utilizing proxies, and if they do not scrape 10 to 50 legal cases daily from 5+ websites, we don't want them, nor if they reduce manual intervention time by 95%. Like, you're giving me a bunch of unnecessary hot dogs. Enhanced LLM, I don't care about that, by matching accuracy by 25%. No. The rest of this, though, the actual client feedback is pretty good. So you just ruin it by putting in these random numbers. But like requirement gathered weekly client feedback and refining algorithm based on false positive negatives is pretty good. You just need to add some of these. So this is why you're cooked, is your resume is garbage. Sure, whatever you're doing to apply is great, but like, you could get so much more than a 1 in 20, like a 1 in 100 or whatever it is you're getting. You don't need to be working this hard to get an interview. Like, take the easy way out, follow my method, it's better. It just, right now, there's nothing really here. Like, it's so hard to read, and you don't even tell me the basics, like Python or TensorFlow. So stick to the basics, keep it simple. Don't overload your resume with this random numbers. No one cares about these numbers. And let me go to the next resume. this is a resume of a full stack software engineer. So for a full stack software engineer, which we actually have not done on this video, which is shocking, this is the most common resume I get is full stack. So what we need is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. I'm going to say that again, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. I don't care how basic that is. If you do not have that, I cannot move you forward. That is critical. React or React.js, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, SQL, NoSQL, MongoDB, RESTful APIs or REST APIs, cloud, and if you say GCP, you need to put Google Cloud Platform and then in parentheses GCP for the first time. You do not need to do that for AWS. CI/CD, Git, .NET or Python or Java, which can sometimes replace the TypeScript, but you really still want TypeScript, and a bonus points for all that other good stuff. So what is this resume? We do not know how good or bad it is. So I try to read the notes after I review it, just to be more fresh on how it normally works in the real life. So 20 seconds on the clock. Let's go. Okay, AS and comp, college. All right, that might be an issue, but career break, this is not relevant. Built-in inventory management, PHP, MySQL, HTML, and JavaScript, that's okay. Ordering pipelines to Python, I need a little bit more. Built responsive using REST API, using React, JavaScript, this is good, but why is that in the end of the sentence? Automated data batch, this is not awful, burn it to the ground, but I don't think this is great. I think this is maybe a 1 in 100, 1 in 20. Let's see what this person said to me. So, love your YouTube channel. Thank you. Came across it a few weeks ago. I've been watching it religiously. I've even recommended your channel. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. So I can use all the help I can get because I am a recruiter, not a marketer. And the social media stuff, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm flying by the seat of my pants. I haven't gotten any interviews, but I am getting responses faster with your template, which is better than before, which I get 0 responses. Also, in one of your videos, you said being jumpy is bad. I switched from logistics to tech in 2022, and my software engineer jobs have been rather short. Should I list my last non-tech job to show longevity? Yes, but it depends on where it was. Typically, your first 3 roles are what's only going to get looked at. So if it's past the first 3, it's going to be a bit of an issue. And I do see here that this is a bit of a problem. So, yeah, this is a bit of a problem. So, the big issue is this is short, this is short. Actually, sorry, this is short and this is short. This is actually a normal amount of length for a software engineer. But yes, they will probably consider that mainly job hoppy. So what I think you may need to do is use the other format. I don't talk about this format yet because it's only good for high level directors and job hoppers. So let me pull that up real quick, but I think this is a case where you want to use the other one. Also, your bullet points are kind of like, right? They're not terrible, but they're not great. So this is the other format. And again, you only need this if you have a job hoppy stuff. And it's really hard for me to teach it, but the short of it is you break the job down into 3 buckets, okay? I actually need to update this because this is not all. This should not be here. So you update it to 3 buckets. So in this case, for full stack, it would be, you would just put like full stack work right up here. And then down here, you would be maybe like dealing with the other people in architecture. And then down here, it would be maybe like AWS. Well, AWS should be up there. So we would break it down into 3 common things that we have this. So maybe like backend, like full stack, and then databases, and then whatever. And then what you do is you aggregate all of your experience and you put them in here just like you normally would. And then you put how many years of experience you have with the maximum amount. Don't combine the years of experience. Just say, if you have a total of 3 years here and 3 years here, then say, I've got 3 years of experience with. And then you do that until you fill up the 3 buckets. And then at the bottom of the resume, you just write your dates of employment like this. You do not put anything under it. So I think this will be the case of what you need to do with that. Again, this is a very specific thing. It's not a better or worse format. It's only good for those situations. So normally this one is the better format. So then we go down to here, and the actual bullet points are kind of mid. They're not terrible, but they're mid, right? So built-in inventory management system is fine using, I don't really care about PHP, right? Like, it's pretty rare. Maybe you'll find 1 or 2 jobs with it, but probably not. MySQL is fine, but I want you to say built-in inventory management system using JavaScript, HTML, CSS. That should be first, MySQL, and Python, right? And then down here, we can maybe delete this sentence. And then we go down here and it's a built-in responsive interface from REST API using React. Too many things. Remember, you want a maximum of 6 keywords in each sentence. And the most important thing is the TypeScript, JavaScript. So you should say built an interface or interactive interface, right? Using TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, React APIs, and Node.js that does X and Y, because you want it, the keywords are the most important part. Everything else is to give them context. Automated batch processing with Python, I don't know, we need more than this. Remember, it should be 3 per, so you can bundle this up with something else and have the Python. And then RabbitMQ, I don't need, and you already mentioned SQL, so that's not needed, so there's nothing here. Then we go down to here, and again, PHP, I don't really care about jQuery. The others I do. SQL is good, but you already mentioned it, so you don't need to do MySQL here. Agile is great, and Git is good. So this is what you need to do: is you need better bullet points, and I think you need to switch to this format, because you are correct. Your experience is a little job hoppy, and that will probably get you a bit declined, especially if you don't have a CS. I don't think we will ever be able to get you a 1 in 7, but we should be at least able to get you a 1 in 25 to a 1 in 45 ratio. If you do that, because this is how we need to do it, because right now it's just too scattered and the bullet points are just not enough. So that's all I can do for this video. I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. I really appreciate it. It really helps me out. And if you ever need more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And, you know, I want to thank you all to my members who get access to videos a little bit early. If you want to be a member, you can join in the link below. And thank you very much for supporting me. I really, really, really do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I will see you all in the next video to get you ahead of your job search.